how has he progressed this
Well, I think
offseason?
one of the things in the offseason, he really has had a bunch of focus, where he came in to say, I'm going to really work at it, and to his credit, off-season went that way. Here's the things you need to work on, and went that way. And so I think it's kind of almost like a continuation of that, where his work from the off-season program started right away and went into, into the spring practice. So I've been real encouraged by what we've seen, and I know the guy's really focused and determined to play as well as he can.
Was he lacking that before?
No, I don't think so. I think sometimes when you just see it, you can really notice a focus on somebody, and he's one of the guys that just really, you can tell how important it is to him, and he shows that just by the way he works, and so I've been encouraged by that.
Is part of that maybe the fact that it's junior year and he can come out early with the big year type
contract
of thing?
year?
Yeah,
You know what?
You know what I mean?
I think it's more just, I really want to play well.
Okay.
And I think that's where we're at. Hey, let's put out really good tape and play really well. And that's really where his focus is, in my dealings with him.
So Dan, last year you put in a brand new defense. What's different this year as far as your spring preparations?
That was
just
one
familiarity.
thing. Yeah. So with all the guys back, as you know, we've had a number of players back, and so for the first meetings, boom, the recall, the stuff like that, the communication, the trust, the knowledge of how to work, and it was interesting that you brought that up even on the first practice. I remember walking back in with coach and just saying, hey, what a difference a year makes, from practice one, from when we first got here to putting in a new package, and then now having the familiarity not only of the players but them knowing the system and us knowing them. So it's now, a second year in. It's for the college guys, English 101, you did it. Now we're into 102, and we get more defined and more, more skilled at our techniques and then just playing the game.
So is that more efficient in terms of practice time? Is it more go, go, go rather than stopping and explaining things and having to interrupt?
I'd say probably in the meeting room, when we're all on the same page faster, you're able to communicate that kind of information back and forth, and the dialogue is easier. So I think it's certainly more efficient. I don't know if it's more efficient necessarily out on the grass, but you can certainly say there's, hey, let's stop and talk through that again. Yeah.
And then what does it translate to actually on the field?
I think just the speed of the game and the communication between the players, where you now have the ability, hey, I understand, on this shift, this is how we're going to play it. Remember, we did it just like this against this opponent or this time. So to me, that's it's one of the real advantages, and I had kind of forgotten that, how useful that is, and then now it's bringing in some of the new players up to speed, and I'm sure we'll go through that again at training camp. But I certainly like the recall that the players had, and in terms of not changing the system, and all the terminology is the same, so we're able to move at a pretty fast pace.
Dan, who else has